I'm living in Berlin for a few years, and during all of my stay, I've experienced that each winter in Berlin, there are at most 2 snowy days. At most 2 snowy days. This year is different because we have 2 proper cold, snowy months. We have snow, we have cold, we have ice, public transport malfunctions, people are not happy. But you are just not experienced in cold, I want to say. You are just not experienced because all of these are like normal consequences. They are not faults of local authorities. They are normal consequences of cold weather, believe me. Snow is a normal consequence of cold weather. Ice on rails, normal consequence of cold weather, absolutely. Malfunction in public transport, normal consequence of cold weather. Authoritarian regime, normal consequence of cold weather. Believe me, we've had only 2 months of cold weather and Friedrich Merz is already not okay. Give him 4 more cold months and he'll start planning invading neighboring countries. Believe me, this is how. Yes, in fact, there are a lot of people here who is saying stuff like, oh, local authorities are unexperienced. They don't know how to deal with snow and ice, right? They say, they are not experienced. And of course they are not experienced, because usually during winter in Berlin you have 2 snowy days. Of course they are sure that snow is something that disappears in 2 days after it appears. They have no idea you should somehow deal with it. And if you want somebody experienced in dealing with snow and ice, believe me, you can get experience from Russian authorities. I can tell you their secrets. Because of course they deal with snow and ice, believe me, every year, half a year. You have snowy months, a lot of experience dealing with snow and ice. And you know what is Russian authorities' secret dealing with complaints about snow and ice? Their secret is they make life of their citizens so miserable that snow and ice are last in the list of problems. Believe me, as soon as you get to prison without any proper reason, you start loving snow and ice, because they are part of your memories about freedom. You're like, oh, snow and ice was so cool. Yes, that's why I'm a fan of how local authorities deal with winters, with snow and ice. Sometimes not orthodox, very original, but it's nice. It's nice to see. For example, there was a case with trams. Because of cold, all the tram rails in Berlin were covered in ice, and trams couldn't run. And so trams in the whole city were out of service. But then they managed to deal with ice, to uncover tram rails. But the next day was tram drivers' strike. And so they were like, no, we won't go. We won't run trains because it's our strike. But the problem was, if you don't run trams, then ice covers rails again. So they found a compromise. And they decided they will run trams, but not allowing passengers to come onto them. And I love this, because of course a lot of passengers were not knowing anything about this. And people were coming to stations and were like, oh yeah, trams are running again, let's get onto them. Tram is coming, doors are not opening, and tram is going further. And I believe this is good, in fact, this is very educating for Europe. Because it educates you that sometimes you are just not allowed without any proper reason. You are just not allowed to do some things, without reasoning. And I believe this is a good idea to have. We should have such days more often. Like, someday trams don't allow you to come. Sometimes buses, sometimes swimming pools, I don't know. We should rotate them. Because it should be a popularized idea that sometimes, even if you don't understand rules, you are just not allowed. This is part of life. I believe this idea should be popularized, especially after all these Epstein files. Because all these billionaires, they clearly don't understand reasons why you shouldn't do all this awful stuff with kids. But they should understand that you just are not allowed to do this without even not understanding reasons. You are not allowed. You are not allowed on my tram. Like this. I believe that's cool. That's cool. Trams not allowing passengers. That's cool. They should even have, huge letters on the side, like, you know what you did. To let people think that they are not allowing you because of something you did in your past. And this will educate. This will traumatize. And in Russia, these are synonyms, of course. Educate and traumatize. Now, Berlin airport is out of service, Is out of service officially because airport's field is covered with ice. But I believe the real story there is that they managed to clean it of ice, but they're having pilot strike. And this is why they are running planes without passengers. Obviously, this is a popular practice here. And the last thing I want to tell you about all of this is that we are usually concerned about like newer technologies, about some complicated things. Like we are afraid of what will happen if AI malfunctions and affects our life. Well, like what if robots will malfunction and affect our life? But in fact, what is malfunctioning? Tram rails. By the way, tram rails are like metal rods lying on the ground. Like, how is it even possible to malfunction for a metal rod lying on the ground? And by the way, they are malfunctioning not because of asteroids or tsunami or like nuclear war. Metal rods lying on the ground are malfunctioning because of more or less normal weather conditions. So probably we are not that powerful, guys. That's all. That's all I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Thanks, and please subscribe. Yeah.